How's that one?
That's yours. You're number one. But it'll be coming out of your left ear now. His right ear is bad, so I switch sides.
Good morning, everybody. This is the ACS Texas State Championships. We are live from Belton, Texas at the Bell Expo Center. We are watching mixed open teams. We have Killer Q's versus B&N Shooters. This is Chris Corcoran on the mic. Feel free to follow along on Facebook with the comments. We are watching those and we'll respond. We have YouTube comments up and running today too, so feel free to comment on there. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure you hit that share button. Let's get this out there to everybody you know.
What's that?
All right, so this table's looking a little bit clustered. There's definitely a lot of work to do here. Hey Gary, thanks for tuning in from Albuquerque. We appreciate it. Okay, so I believe this is Killer Q's at the table right now, shooting high ball. Stripes or high ball are a little bit more open than the solids here. I think you wanted to come a little bit further for that 13. I think that 8 is sitting really big in front of it. So yeah, once again, this is day 4 of the ACS Texas State Championships. We are watching mixed teams. We have Killer Q's and B&N Shooters at the table. We are live from Belton, Texas at the Bell Expo Center. Alright, so Killer Q's was at the table. Just came a little bit thin off that 11. So B&N Shooters is shooting low ball here. They have a little bit of work to do. It is a bit clustered. I think the biggest issue is the 7 and the 3, blocking the 8 ball. Nice shot on the 5. I think if he can, he's going to shoot that 4 ball through the window between the 11 and the 14. Otherwise, the 6 is going to be the option. This will be a great shot for the breakout on the 7 and the 3. So he did bump into 8 for the breakout. Unfortunately, he did miss the 4. So Killer Q's is back to the table shooting stripes. He attempted a back cut on that 13 ball. It's kind of a tough angle, but he left it okay. So BNN looks like they're going to call this one ball. I'm not sure it's going to go. It's tied up against both the 13 and the 9. Kind of a two-way shot. He's left it pretty safe with the cue ball sitting just off the bottom rail. So we are following along with comments on YouTube and Facebook today. Feel free to send us a message. So we had a nice back cut on the 13 ball there. He's left a bit of distance for himself on this 9. But if he can execute it properly, he should be able to come right into that 14-11 area. I think the 9 ball just came off the rail a little bit. So OBNN just opts to play a safety there.
The team with no name, Legal Ladies, 30-31. Go to 28-29, ladies, 28-29. Legal Ladies, team with no name, 28-29.
He attempted the 9 up to the corner. It straightened out on him pretty good, so unfortunately missed, bringing BNN back to the table. Again, the 6 ball's still a little tied up. Hey Jeff, thanks for checking in from St. Edward. We will be live throughout the rest of the weekend. So I think you want to address that 6 ball as soon as possible. It does go in the far side pocket. So if you can get a good shot here, you might be able to get in behind it. I think you might be forced to bank this 7 back towards him.
I'm okay. If you want to sit there, go ahead.
All right, folks, I'm joined by Patrick here.
Howdy, folks.
So we are watching the Killer Qs versus BNN shooters at the ACS Texas State Champions.
Both teams look very focused. This could be a good one.
Thundersticks, on the way.
Hey Ryan, thanks for checking in from Milwaukee again. Appreciate it. So this is a losers brackets match. These teams are on the B side. The race is to 13. So these teams are facing elimination from the tournament. There will be a second chance bracket starting at 8 o'clock tonight, so any teams that are eliminated before 5 p.m. will have the option to rebuy in to the second chance.
Welcome from Springfield, Illinois, Mike. That's my hometown. I was born there. I believe Abraham Lincoln was 1 grade ahead of me in school.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yes. He was the smart one.
think he had a bit more hair than you two.
Well, by design. I could have a full head. I just shaved that middle part off.
Oh, is that how that must be the style down here, having that cul-de-sac.
They tell me it's a distinguished look. Dye it silver too to look like I have some stature.
That seems to be a fad, actually,
Yes.
putting that silver color in your hair.
Most people eventually go to that style.
I know playing pool has a huge effect on that.
Raising children can cause it too.
Hey Ryan, glad you love the streams. We appreciate you tuning in whenever you have the chance. So everybody watching on Facebook and YouTube, hit the share button. We are following along with comments on both today.
And we welcome the feedback. If you have any suggestions, requests, Chris might sing for you if you ask him nicely.
All right, so it looks like Killer Q's gets the first game on the board on the far table there.
The ice has been broken.
Unless I missed something, it's hard to tell. We've got a lot of matching shirts here.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that was B&N shooters just based on the reaction from his teammates. We will be double checking the score periodically just to make sure. It can be a little bit difficult to follow along as we have two tables going.
And we try to determine the players' names when they come to the table. B&N shooters have their names on the sleeves of their shirts unless they've traded shirts. So we have a little head start there. Killer Q's, we'll be guessing.
All right, so the table in front of us, Killer Q's are shooting the high ball. Well, I could be wrong. I got distracted by all of the commotion on the far table. Hey Terry, thanks for tuning in from Toronto. I was going to say good morning, but it is definitely the afternoon now. I slept through most of the morning. Yeah, so he was shooting high ball. What he was looking to do is kind of block that 6 ball from going in the top corner.
.123 in the afternoon here in beautiful downtown Belton, Texas.
It is a beautiful day today. The temperature is finally going up, which makes us Canadians happy.
Those Texans too.
Yeah, the Texans were not happy that we brought our cold weather down with us. They almost kicked us out.
Yeah, we thought about it briefly. Gave you a reprieve.
Hey Brian, glad to hear you're done working on the truck. Hope all is well. Good afternoon.
Question of the day is, does the truck now run?
I think that's the most important thing.
Yes. I'm guessing you wouldn't have quit working on it if it hadn't started being able to run.
Nice little cut on the 3 that gives them shape to the 8 to give B&N a 2-0 lead in the race to 13. Nice out. So guys, let us know where you're tuning in from. If you have any questions or comments, send them our way on Facebook and YouTube.
And feel free to share that stream. You can share it on Facebook, by text message, Messenger. If you're watching on YouTube, you can share it similar ways.
Don't you worry, Mary Jane. We are taking the weather back with us. It is not going to be very much fun when we get home.
Yeah, some of your neighbors were on the stream earlier saying that it's snowing like crazy up there right now. Temperature was -1 Celsius, which is about 30 degrees here by our gauge.
Well, it is that time of year, so it is to be expected.
You love it.
You know, I've got no problem with the snow as long as the sun is shining.
But if the sun shines for very long and the snow starts to melt, then refreezes at night, that makes driving fun.
Based on the picture that I received today, the sun is definitely not shining. Hey Warren, thanks for tuning in from Winterpeg, also known as Winnipeg. Hey Kathy, have a great day as well. We are enjoying it now that the weather is turning. The sun is beating down on us, warming everybody up. Hey Dave, hello from Youngstown, Ohio.
Glad to have you with us, Dave, Kathy, Warren, Mary Jane, Diane. You too, Brian.
All right, so scratch on the break here is behind the line. We are playing world standardized rules. So Killer Q's is at the table shooting high ball. Oh, he attempted to cut that 11 into the side. Unfortunately, it kicked right off that point and back out at him. So it looks like we've got Brian up from B&N Shooters. The table is still open here, so he does have choice.
Thanks for sharing, Dave. Brian, this is Patrick Neal from New Braunfels, Texas. I'm sitting in for Ryan. He has disappeared on us. I think there's food involved. Can't verify that yet.
I did see him with a thing of potato salad, so
yes,
he's a happy camper this morning.
Well, I was going to send him to get a baked potato until I saw he was already eating potato salad. Might not have slowed him down. Who knows?
Hey, well, it looks like the championship match is going to be scheduled for 3 o'clock on Sunday, so I think our barbecue is going to be scheduled for Sunday evening at this rate.
There you go.
Hey, Joe, thanks for tuning in from Columbus. Thanks, Dave. Really appreciate it.
Good to meet you too, Brian. Thanks for your continued support, folks.
Hey, Lawrence on YouTube, thanks for tuning in from Alberta.
And Jeff's still in Nebraska. Can't escape, huh?
So Ryan's asking, what ranking system does ACS use? So they have typically a standard division, an open division, and an advanced division. So advanced would be maybe masters. I don't know what the translation would be to BCA.
I think that would probably be right.
Yeah, so
Masters is match advanced.
Your standard division is going to be your novice or beginner players. Your open division is going to be intermediate, and your advanced division is going to be kind of your higher end players and master level players. Thanks, Brian, once again. We do appreciate you guys sharing through your groups and on your Facebook wall. Oh, unfortunately, Jeff's truck is not running. Nope, not without help. Can't drive.
Yep,
Is that you that can't drive or the truck that can't drive?
I think he's saying he can't escape Nebraska without driving. He needs somebody to drive him. So if we have any volunteers, look Jeff up. Get him out of there. Nothing wrong with Nebraska, folks. I'm just kidding. It's not too dissimilar from VNEA. That's true, right?
I'm just taking a peek at the far table there. We've got Killer Q's at the table shooting stripes. He is looking really good to get out here to give Killer Q's their first win. That was a really nice combo to the side. 9-14 on this front table. Not easy to do.
Didn't get a terribly favorable rollout on it, but he's got options here.
Yeah, that was a bit of a tough cut on the 12 ball.
Yep.
Table's kind of opened up for solids here. And on the far cue, the far table, my brain was thinking faster than my mouth. We have Killer Q's puts up their first win here. So again, it is a race to 13, guys. We are watching the B side of the bracket, or the loser side. So the winning team will continue up the bracket, whereas the losing team will be packing up and going home. Unless, of course, they want to buy into the second chance bracket, which starts at 8 p.m. tonight.
Good value on that. Only $50 for the
$50 for the whole team, so $10 a person.
40 for the ladies.
You can't beat that. Yeah, nobody wants to go home this early in the tournament, so it's always nice when there's a second chance bracket available.
Yeah, especially if they're already past their checkout time at the hotel and you're going to pay for another day anyway, then might as well stay here and play.
Yeah, you got that right. And why wouldn't you want to stay today? If the sun is shining out there, it is beautiful. All right, so Brian's eyeing up the 6 to the side here. Hopefully he can break out his 5 with this shot.
He did.
Excellent stroke on that.
Got trapped in behind all those stripes.
No
He may have
reward.
a shot at the 5 in the side, though.
Yeah, I think actually he's got the window there, so
Yep.
he did get the reward after all.
We need to...
Hey Floyd, thanks for tuning in from Chapin. One danger with those shots is just losing that cue ball, but he managed to control it quite well. Come off the bottom rail up for the 6. It's going to have a bit of a difficult cut. From the way he's looking at the table, I would go to the top right, or on your screen, it's the top left corner pocket there. And that'll allow him to check back off of the long rail for the 8 in the corner.
Did that very nicely.
Proved me
Ignored
wrong.
all of our advice.
Yeah, he did not want to listen to me, but it worked out quite well.
Apparently he's not aware that from here you and I have never missed.
I don't miss.
Oh.
I think he just overpowered that 8 ball a little bit.
Adrenaline may have been a factor. His first game of the match.
Hi, Delane. Unfortunately, you have to be sanctioned with ACS Texas. You cannot come from another state unless you come from another state to play league on a weekly basis.
And if you're in one of the surrounding states, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, or New Mexico, why would you not come to Texas?
All right, so Killer Q's looking to put another one on the board here.
Yep, looking good. He's going to naturally come to the other end of the table where he wants to be. Take that 8 inside. And there you go.
All right, Killer Q's killing another 8 ball.
All tied up.
So guys, while we got a break here, just to remind you, we are at the ACS Texas State Championship at the Bell Expo Center in Belton, Texas, about an hour north of Austin. If you are in the area, feel free to come by. There's a lot of good pool happening. Got quite a few vendors set up in the room. you can come and see us at the Q Sports Live desk. We are situated at table 44.
Come on in and participate in our Q raffle. Only a few tickets left for that. You might get lucky. We'll also be raffling a case later today or tomorrow. And we have Q Repair by Jerry Olivier, also his custom cues business available for you to take advantage of. Everybody needs a new pool cue. Christmas is coming.
All right, guys. Killer Q's up for the break here. They're going to try to take the lead. We do have a game underway on the back table. Just keeping an eye on that. Nice second ball break there.
One stripe down. A little cluster around the 8 ball there. Shouldn't be too hard to open up.
If that 6 passes the 15, I think I'd be inclined to take solids.
Looks like it probably does.
So I think he's going to shoot this 15 in the corner. Might use that 6 to actually break into the 8. I don't think he's got the right angle, though.
Well, something broke it out.
Yeah, cue ball came in, hit that 8.
Tied the 12 up, so.
Honestly, I think that 12 will go. There's a little separation between that 8 and 12 ball. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the 14. My apologies.
I believe 14 is a
Yeah,
12's
14
a
goes.
6. Yeah,
I think he's going to address that issue right now.
both issues. There goes the
Excellent shot.
There goes the
Look at
breakout.
this.
Sweetly done. And the only other balls that present any trouble, he's going to separate those right now.
Yeah, I don't see any issues preventing a finish off here for Killer Q's to put another win on the board.
If he can take the 12, if he's straight enough on it to hold the ball there, he can get the 9, float over for the 11. Pretty straightforward.
It just drew back a couple inches to straighten up for the 9.
We'll probably have to do the same here. Draw out of that a little bit. On the far table, and Mike for being in, coming into the table with a couple balls tied up there near the break spot. With that tiny little window. Two rails, get past that 2, and he would have had it.
That is not where you wanted to be.
Nope.
Alright, so on the far table, Killer Q's is looking to clean up. I stand corrected. He was actually playing a safe over there. Alright. So while the gentleman for Killer Q's is eyeing up his 8 ball here, The player for BNN on the far table is shooting stripes. Might have overpowered that 13 ball a little bit. Wow, he played that really well. He didn't have a whole lot of rail to shoot at, so he put a lot of inside juice on the cue ball to try to check backwards off of the rail. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough to get to the 8 ball. So this is BNN at the table shooting solids. Probably see 6 ball, maybe the 2 ball, then the 7. Use the 1 to get back on the 8. Or you could go 1 2 7, 1 7 2, and use the 2 for the 8.
Card key you gave me didn't work.
What's that?
The card key you gave me didn't work.
No?
Yeah.
They just reprogrammed it right there.
Yeah. Then you can give it back to him.
I got one.
I'll be back.
Maybe
We'll get to
make
pick
it.
out a bunch of stuff here later today or tomorrow morning. I'll get you a brutal hat and shirt for helping.
Cool. Appreciate it.
And a lot more coming.
Can you hand me my drink, please?
What's that?
Hand me my drink. Thank you.
All right. Well, we did miss a game there.
BNN got that one. The other game on the far table I did not see.
Yeah, so we're going to have to check.
I'll go check that for you. Maybe we can get Ryan to check.
Hey, Colton, thanks for tuning in. We're doing great. This is day 4 of the ACS Texas State Championships. Watching some team play today. We have Killer Q's and BNN shooters. So looks like we missed a couple there.
Yeah, just got that score update. BNN in lead 4-3. 2 new games starting here.
Thanks, Ruben. We appreciate you following along.
Doing well here, Colton. How are you? How's everyone? Which team is Ricky Wallace part of?
So anybody just tuning in, we have Chris Corcoran here on the mic alongside Patrick Neal.
Howdy, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate those of you who have shared the stream. If some of the rest of you would do as well, maybe we can get this viewership up a little bit. We're at 83 on Facebook and 37 on YouTube. If you're watching on your big screen at home on YouTube, it's an incredible experience. So you should try that out if you haven't. We are monitoring comments on both streams. Sometimes we're a little behind in our replies, and so we appreciate it if you're patient with us. Trying to monitor 2 tables, watching about 4 other matches going on in the nearby vicinity at the same time, so that's why we're sometimes wrong on the score, but we usually get it caught up before too long.
All right, so that was Killer Q's with a scratch there.
And Pete for BNN coming to the table, ball in hand, and the solids. Is that correct?
I do believe so.
There's a whole lot more of them.
Hey, Tony, thanks for tuning in from Chicago. How's the weather up there today?
As you may have been able to hear, the excitement is contagious here in the room. Somebody must have just finished off winning a match.
Yeah, there's
over.
Definitely a bit of a buzz today. You know, the team event started last night, so definitely progressing up the brackets.
A lot of these are B-side matches too, so survival.
Yeah, there's already a lot of teams that have packed up and left today, so luckily there is a second chance bracket starting at 8 p.m. tonight for those teams that are out. You can buy back in for $50 on the men's teams and $40 on the women's teams. So, as Patrick said earlier, it's a nice bargain. Nobody wants to leave the tournament that early.
Nope. A lot of preparation, hard work went into getting here. Quite a bit of expense, traveling your team down, sponsors. Appreciate having your uniforms they paid for on view for a longer period of time. So a lot of reasons to stick around. So if any of you listening are here in the room, stop by and see us over in the corner next to the Q Repair Shop.
Tony, the weather does not look very good in Chicago. 42 and rain. Sounds like a good day to be indoors watching pool with Q Sports Live.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Back home, it's snowing. So I highly recommend everybody in Calgary to do the same.
There's really no reason for Calgarians not to be tuned in. I don't even know if that's a word. Is that a word?
That's a word. You got it.
I mean, it may not be the right word, but it's a word.
No, we are Calgarians.
Or if you pronounced it, would it then be Calgarians?
No,
Okay.
no, that's one time where that A is acceptable.
Okay, that second A gets some screen time there.
Technically, I'm not even a Calgarian. I live outside of the city, so
Yeah. I'm sure they love you.
I believe the term for my city is Airdrieonite. Airdronian, I have no idea.
Andrew, shout out for his boys at BNN.
All right, in front of us we got Killer Q shooting stripes.
A little more. And you have to reroute, take the 14 here and come back around for another swing at that 10 ball.
You know, I think he's got enough of that 13 ball here. Just enough
that's
to
exactly what he wants to do.
just enough to squeak by that 8.
That should leave him either the 14 or the 12 and easily get back up for the 10.
Oh, he's going to take the 10 right now if he
He
can.
certainly is. Right on it. Nice speed control there.
Man, I just want to play pool.
Yeah. We should encourage these folks to play faster so a few of them will be eliminated and open up some tables so you and I can play.
Sandra said the snow has stopped in Calgary and she doesn't think Airdrieonite is a word. Yeah, I don't actually know what I would be called if that being the fact that I live in Airdrie.
Maybe airheadry?
Airdrieonite. Yeah, no, that doesn't sound right.
Airdrian.
Airdrien. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yo, Airdrian. Give me a beer. Yes, we're full of irrelevant movie quotes.
Well, somebody is, anyways.
Somebody?
Michael cheering on Killer Q's.
Billy Ricker's a fan of your town.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. We got a 45-minute drive to the mountains, so wow, great.
Oh, you hit that so good.
Man, I
No
thought
reward.
that was looking wired. Just came off the horn and kicked back out.
Pete coming back to the table with a little bit of work to do. Going to gather his focus, do a lap or two around the table, map it out. Everything goes. Just got to figure out how to get to him. What would you do here, Chris? Which ball would you start with?
I think I would be cutting that one actually up the rail.
I was thinking that.
Just based
I think
on.
he's going for the 5
Yeah.
on the top left as we see it. That could get him good shape on the ball to the side over there. Or
Just
good
watch
scratch.
that scratch. He executed that really well.
Yes, nice.
I chose the 1 just based on where I feel most comfortable in my shooting.
I would have liked that shot as well, better than the 5, but he hit the 5 really well. Put a stroke on that one too. I believe the man is motivated. What do you think?
Yeah, I think most of the players in the room today are quite motivated. I'm sure there's going to be a big cash prize and a nice trophy at the end of the tournament.
For the victors, we'll probably have trophies for about 3 places, I would think.
Yeah, I think I was up there and I saw a couple sets of trophies. I don't know, what's better, the trophy, the money, or the bragging rights that come along with it?
Cash is king, but the bragging rights stay for a whole year. And the trophies gather dust forever.
I think the winners of the team event actually get an entry into the Nationals in Vegas as well.
That's a nice bonus.
A couple hotel rooms involved there too, so there's a lot riding on this tournament.
Yep. And Pete takes it home for B&N.
Really nice finish for B&N there. So guys, share that stream. Feel free to comment along. We are following along with YouTube and Facebook comments. Ryan says money's the best part. You got to pay off that bar tab.
Or at least part of it.
Yeah, I don't really drink too much when I play pool, so I tend not to rack up much of a bar tab, although my food tab tends to grow quite a bit. I do enjoy myself a little bit of food here and there.
My teammates tend to run up the bar tab. It's all their fault.
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in, supporting your team, supporting your friends, family. Make sure you share that stream, get this out there. Give these guys the exposure they deserve. A lot of great pool happening here in Texas.
Looks like Pete has a lot of supporters out there. Maybe a few who weren't supporters that were just admiring his work. It was a nice out. Looks like we're going to see a kick at the 8 ball over on the far table. Of course, the viewers have probably been paying more attention than I have. He's called a ball in the bottom left pocket.
Oh,
He banked it. Looked like it was pretty much on line if the cue had stayed out of the way.
Hey Sandra, we are in Belton, Texas. We are about an hour north of Austin. This is the ACS Texas State Championship.
Near Temple, not far from Killeen and Waco, Harker Heights, Fort Hood, I believe the largest military installation in the United States, just down the road.
Is that right? I had no idea. The largest military.
It is big. It's not the size of Connecticut.
So we got local resident here, Patrick Neal, on the mic, giving us a bit of a geography lesson.
And probably a lot of locals watching who will correct me on any mistakes that I would have made. Don't know if Austin is sister city to Calgary or not.
I will look that up right now.
It's rumored that it's in line to be the next capital of California, though. Where are you watching from, Sandra?
Thanks for tuning in from Calgary. Always appreciate it. So, Calgary currently has 6 official sister city relationships. Daejeon, South Korea. Daqing in China. Jaipur in India. Now, I can't even say that. Naucalpan in Mexico. And Phoenix, Arizona, and apparently Quebec. So none of those
So is that
what I expected.
a nod of deference to Quebec's independence, treating them as another country?
It did say Quebec, Canada. Sounds like there is a lot of similarities between Austin and Calgary.
I think Houston is more like Calgary than Austin is in some ways, but Austin is a much bigger place than most people realize. San Antonio is the 7th largest city in the U.S., and Austin is 13th, I believe.
Wow, so just looking at the numbers, so Austin's population is very similar to Calgary. Just under 1 million folks in Austin, just over in Calgary. Yeah, just looking online, there's a lot of similarities between Austin and Calgary. But you'll find that almost anywhere you go.
Nicely avoided that corner pocket with the cue ball, but tied the 15 up. Might be able to bounce it right back out on this shot.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a really good opportunity. That 15 is going to track up towards the corner pocket. Looks like it's going to, if he hits this right, it's going to kick off of the 1 ball, head up table, and the cue ball should kind of follow in line. Oh, he just came past it. I think he tried to, he knew he was coming into that pack, so he wanted to hit it nice and firm.
And get tied up in that traffic. Now the trick is to get that 15 out of the group without opening up that pile of solids. 6 of them in about a 12-inch area there.
Oh, really unfortunate there. He just kissed off of that, and the cue ball had eyes straight to the corner pocket. Glad to hear the snow stop. I'm not exactly looking forward to coming back to winter.
It'll be there soon enough, though.
Yep.
Have your skis all out and waxed. And
I have never gone skiing, never gone snowboarding, and
No
I live
snowboarding.
45 minutes from the mountains.
That's just wrong.
Yeah.
I have snowboarded,
I'll be sharpening up the hockey skates and getting out on the ice, I hope.
and I live 4 hours from the mountains by air. So come on now, step up your game.
Yeah. You know, my fiance has some skis. They almost fell on my head the other day in the garage. Maybe that's an indicator that I should get into it.
Snowboarding, I found to be easier than skiing, so I stayed away from skiing.
Yeah, I've done a lot of skateboarding in my life, so I think I've got the balance for snowboarding.
A nice safety over there on the far table.
These teams are definitely evenly matched.
I agree.
There's a lot of good shooters on both sides. Wow. Did you see that kick on that last table? I don't think he called it, but
I called it in the other,
yeah.
the top left, but hit it square in the face. It was a nice escape at the very least.
So guys, share that stream. I see 50 people watching on YouTube, 63 on Facebook. Let's bump those numbers up. Everybody watching, hit the share button. Let your family, friends, everybody on your social media pages know that you are watching Q Sports Live, coming to you live from Belton, Texas at the ACS Texas State Championship.
Tony, that's an excellent question. I think that BNN won. We're going to confirm that in just a moment. If that is the case, it would be 6-3 BNN.
Alright, so BNN on the far table's got a good chance here. I think you might have to bank the 8, but anytime you get back to the table when it's that open is a good opportunity to do something.
A long shot on the 8, whatever he's doing with it.
Hey Michael, if you look at the scoreboard on the far right, you'll see the race. It is a race to 13. So first team with 13 wins will move on. The other team will be eliminated. This is a B-side or a loser's bracket match.
Killer Q's player got a nice bump on that 7. Kept the cue ball from getting tied up behind it. Good chance to finish this out here. So close.
I think he started walking before that stroke was even complete there.
Yep, you have to stay down. It's my most common mistake. Jumping up out of the shot. Mike for BNN coming up with a thin cut on the 8 ball on the far table.
Yeah, I think he might have a good opportunity here.
15 looks like it's going to protect him from the scratch. Nope.
Ooh, he overcut that 8 ball. All right.
Brian finishes it off for BNN.
Big win over here. No problem, Michael. Thanks for tuning in.
7.
Nobody's paying attention.
I know. Including me. Yeah, he's looking it up for me.
got it. It is 6-4 for B&N over Killer Q's.
Thanks to B&N Score for updating us on that.
So Killer Q's needs 9. B&N needs 7.
Anybody's ball game here.
Thanks everybody for sharing.
Yes, sir.
Got to get that out there. Watching some good pool today. Hey Tony, we actually just confirmed with the captain of B&N that the score is 6-4.
I had thought it was 7 also, but I'm going to trust the man keeping score because he's sitting next to the opposing team's score, and if one of them was wrong, they would have fixed it by now.
He's got the pencil and paper over there.
And he's also paying better attention than I am. There's a little more writing on this. So viewers, if you play in a league, let us know which leagues you play in, what you like about it, what you don't like. Maybe keep that to a minimum. Give us some positives. We like to keep things positive here, but suggestions, are always a good thing. What area you play in, the kinds of tournaments that they hold, qualifiers for Vegas tournaments, things like that. And one of the reasons I ask you that is Q Sports Live is, in my opinion, the best streaming option that any tournament director could bring in. And if you have a big tournament coming up, or even not even that big of a tournament, you want somebody to stream it live on Facebook or YouTube or both, you can contact us on our Facebook page, Ryan Epp, Q Sports Live. That's 3 words, CUE Sports Live. And have your tournament director get in touch with us. We can work up a quote in no time, what the cost would be to bring in the equipment, run the stream, promote your league, help you to grow your membership, get more exposure for some of your local businesses that would like to sponsor the stream.
Yeah,
lots of ways we can help you there.
We have no problem traveling anywhere. Hey Tony, so I'll give you a rundown on the numbers here. So for the team events, we had 51 Scotch doubles teams. We have 48 teams in the mixed open team division, which is what you were watching right now, and we have 18 women's teams. While we're on it, we'll just go over the singles. We had 114 men's singles entries. We had 53 women's singles entries. Of those 53 women, 37 entered into the second chance bracket. 79 men entered into their second chance bracket in the singles. And there will be a second chance bracket for all the teams starting at 8 o'clock tonight.
So if you have friends who are here playing in the B side of this bracket and they happen to lose their match, don't give up on them. They may be entering that second chance. Could be some of those matches streamed as well.
All right, so B&N puts us their 7th game up on the board. Help if I hit the right button on the keyboard here. Hey Brian, yes, unfortunately we have not had the chance to get back to the table. We will though at some point, because I'm really itching to play. I went up with Patrick to have a game, and
I got to watch. It was a really nice game to watch. I'll just put it like that. Somebody taught this kid how to play. Sadly for me, he paid attention to his lessons. Put a whooping on the old man. But I'll be back.
Sandra, I play in the exact same division, actually. I dropped down from A1 to play on Ryan Epp's A2 team on Wednesday nights. You're allowed 1 drop-down player, so they let me sneak in the back door a little bit.
Really nice safety plate over here on the near table.
Amy, I'm not sure if they usually have a seniors bracket. Maybe more so at the Nationals in Vegas. But here at the ACS Texas State, that everything I mentioned earlier is what is posted on CompuSport. So guys, if you do want to follow along with the brackets, look for ACS Texas State Championships on CompuSport.
They do a great job of bracketing, updating scores. Not quite in real time, but that's not really possible. But they do a good job.
I mean, it's barely possible for us, and we're watching it. So Jeff's in Northern California. Oh, they let him play in ACS, but he doesn't have an ACS league.
Not sure I follow that, but
Yeah, it's I think he's talking more about the larger tournaments.
okay.
Yeah, you know, it's nice. Fargo's nice because it's becoming kind of standardized across the world. It's really hard to rank pool players, to be honest.
For a variety of reasons. A lot of different playing conditions. Ranked someone with a Fargo rating is playing someone without a Fargo rating. How do they adjust either player?
Yeah, like for example,
don't know what they're playing against.
I have a Fargo rating. It is 462.
I thought you were going to say completely fraudulent.
It is completely fraudulent.
You led me up the road there.
Yeah. No, but I've only played 46 games, and I don't really get out to a lot of Fargo-rated tournaments, so I haven't had a chance to really establish an accurate Fargo rate. So
that's one of the biggest challenges is getting enough scores into the system for it to be, really accurate.
yeah, like I mean, I play a lot of pool, but depending on where you are, you might not ever see a Fargo-rated tournament. Sandra, looking forward to it.
Welcome from the Granite State, Carolina. Or as they say down here in Texas, that might be Carolina.
She plays 8-ball and 9-ball, but prefers 9-ball. It depends. Depends on... Are you playing 9-ball on a valley table? Are you playing 9-ball on a 9-foot table?
Totally different game.
I do not really enjoy 9-ball on a valley table.
No. Nor do I.
I think 8-ball is perfectly suited for a valley table. It takes a lot of control and skill to get your outs, just because of the smaller playing surface.
And congestion.
Ooh. You don't want to shoot those too hard.
Rushing his stroke a little bit.
Yeah. You don't want to shoot into the side pockets too hard, because the horns are pretty responsive and will kick your object ball right back at you. What's your favorite game of pool?
I love to play 10-ball, 8-ball as well. I like to watch snooker. The artistry and the skill required to be top level in snooker is so high.
Not many people get that pronunciation right.
I listen. All right. Another win for B&N there. So it's 8-4.
Yeah, snooker's a really great game to watch, especially when you're watching the top level pros. It is unbelievable. And if you haven't got out to play a little bit of snooker, get out there, see what it's like. And if you didn't appreciate watching those guys play before, I guarantee you will after you hit a few balls on a big 12-foot table.
Yes. It looks roughly the size of a golf course when you get down over a shot.
Michael says his favorite game of pool is bumper pool. I just sold my bumper pool table, actually. It was not getting any action. Just taking up space.
9-foot tables. Carolina, that's what 9-ball should be played on.
I really love 9-foot tables. I used to not because I could never make a ball on them. I purchased a 8-foot table because I can't fit a 9-foot in my house. But I purchased the 8-foot with the idea that it would help me a little bit more with the distance on the 9-foot, and it definitely has. And if I could, I'd play on 9-foots only.
You are going to need a bigger house.
I do.
Yes.
I won't get one for a while.
Recommend it.
Yeah.
Not that I would do it, but I recommend it for you.
Hey, Sandra. I play in the A2 on Wednesday night, but we're in the south end of the city, which is a little ironic because I live on the north outer edge of the city, up in Airdrie, so got a little bit of a drive, but
Second chance starts tonight at 8 o'clock. You get beat out, you're going to keep playing. $50 entry for the mixed open, $40 entry for the women. Roughly 8 o'clock start for the mix.
hey Neil, glad you're enjoying the pool. He's got a cold land shark on his 50-inch screen while playing on his table.
I hope you don't have that cold land shark actually on your 50-inch. I hope you have the stream on your 50-inch.
Can somebody explain to me what a cold land shark is?
Land shark. I believe that's a beverage.
That's what I was kind of thinking.
See them in the corner stores here. I'm afraid to try it. For those of you who aren't old enough to remember the old Saturday Night Live skits, you might look up the land shark skit. Saturday Night Live, John Belushi. Rest in peace.
John says land shark is a lager.
Oh,
Well, I love beer,
must not be what I was thinking of then.
and I have no problems trying multiple different kinds of beer.
Candygram. Eric is old. Michaela, if you're still out there, can you verify that Neil Soloway is the best beer on the beach? Or I think he's saying Land Shark is the best beer to have on the beach.
Yeah, Neil Soloway is saying it's the best one on the beach.
He might be claiming he's the best.
Honestly, I think if I could have a beer on the beach regularly, it doesn't matter what kind of beer I'm drinking.
The beach is far more important at that point. Beaches here in Texas are they're not as good as they are in Pensacola or Hawaii, I'll put it that way.
Well, you haven't seen the beaches in Alberta.
And neither is anyone else.
Exactly.
Your house, when you go to buy that bigger one, you're going to be selling that house you have with the oceanfront view, right?
Yeah. The ocean of snow.
You've got 5 players, just tell them in the round, so we're going to use a 4-person 20.
So over on YouTube, Daniel's saying he likes bank pool or Saratoga.
That's all right. We're going to do a 4-man rotation.
I'm not sure what Saratoga is.
We can still get a second chance.
We're
It's a
going to do,
racetrack.
I think we might do a little Google here. We got BNN putting up another big win there. And I keep pressing the wrong button. And someone's going to make fun of me for saying button again. I don't know why, but
I won't.
I appreciate it.
With
You'll wait till we're off the stream anyways.
the quality of my hearing causes me not to be able to find the difference in how you say it from how I say it.
I see.
Well, I'm finding a lot about swimming
Sandra,
pools and
you've
spas.
never found the beaches in Alberta? So Neil says Saratoga's a good game. Sorry, what was that?
Only thing I found under Saratoga pool was swimming pools and spas.
Oh, Daniel's answered a question. It's rotation and 8-ball all in one.
Sounds confusing.
Yep. We'll have to try that out at some point. Oh, so just on the far table, it looked like BNN was poised to take another one to bring this up to 10, but unfortunately he just missed his 1 ball. Leaves a bit of a tough cut for the Killer Q's team on the 8.
Matches.
You can have one or two. I got to take a bunch of those with me. But
Let me take a white one too.
So, got some more answers on the Saratoga. So Jeff says Saratoga is 8-ball, but you got to run either stripes or solids in order, then the 8-ball. I like that idea. He's saying it's played with 13 balls.
Yeah, with 16 balls, 15 balls, it would be a little crowded out there.
Sandra says she can't say she ever used beach and Alberta in the same sentence. I think there's a campground nearby Calgary called Sandy Beach. Or there's a part of the Bow River that runs through Calgary, and there's a spot there called Sandy Beach. I'm not sure if it's official or not, but either way, if we do find a beach in Alberta, it is nothing in comparison to a beach near the ocean.
Can't believe you're talking about Sandra like that.
Getting ahead of myself here.
B&M just had a chance again on that far table, and 8-ball just wouldn't go down.
you had one ball.
It's like a nice bank shot coming up here. Ooh. Went for the safe, but that isn't too safe.
So on this table we're watching in front of us, we had an illegal break. It looks like only one ball contacted a rail. It hit 3 of them. Fortunately, you need 4 balls to contact the rail, or a ball to go down on the break.
Being in up to 10 now. Finally got that 8-ball to disappear off the table.
Okay, Michael says this is Kaya. I think that's how it's pronounced on the closer table. Daniel on YouTube says if you play safe and the player doesn't hit their lowest object ball, it's a foul. It's played in Wisconsin every year by the pros. No, it really sounds like a fun game. I'm going to have to get into that. Give it a try.
Try to get the catched in the ACS shirts or something. Obviously not a camera.
Lloyd, are you talking about the rules of 8-ball? Because the rules do vary depending where you are, what association you're playing with. Oh, thanks, Michael. Kai, sorry. Sandra says there used to be some rope swings at Sandy Beach. Yeah, I don't think there anymore. In today's society, rope swings are too dangerous, I think. Yeah, they'll vary from country to country too, Lloyd. So, in this tournament, we are playing world standardized rules. So if you are curious what those are, you can do a quick internet search. World standardized rules. Oh, I muted Patrick. I guess I should let him back on so he can chat a little bit.
John Tadaro, intriguing me with your comment. Dupo racked. Can you explain that to me? I think I know what you mean.
I think I'd call it gaff racked. You leave a little bit of a gap in between the balls. But these guys are racking their own, so.
Small town near where I grew up called Dupo. Not sure anybody in Dupo has a pool table though. Pretty small place. But I would not be surprised if that rack happened there. Like Chris said though, when you're racking your own and you get a bad rack, it's a little hard to deflect blame there. I certainly do know where Dupo, Illinois is. I grew up in Cahokia. Is that the area you were in, John? Wait, they had girls in Dupo? That's news to me. I'm going to be in trouble with all 11 people that live there now.
I'm from a really small town, actually, in British Columbia. I think there was about 1,000 people there when I was born. Might have increased to 2,000 over the last 30 years.
Well, that's a lot of growth. St. Charles, Missouri.
Slow and steady.
Are you back to Wentzville? Is that what you're saying, John? Brian shooting the stripes on this new table, I believe. Appears to have a dilemma.
Just a little bit.
That's what he was after, trying to sneak that in under the 4.
Yeah, I think if he had left it over on that far rail, it might have been a little nicer because he could have used it for a breakout, but it was a good.
A couple of solids as well.
Yeah, it was a good attempt.
Yep.
I sense there was a bit of a lack of commitment there on that one ball shot to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Missing that ball did no disservice to him whatsoever. It's going to kind of force Brian here to move that 9 ball. Turn your volume down on your phone there. I can hear myself talking in the background.
Sorry about that. I thought you could multitask and listen and talk at the same time.
It was throwing me off a little bit.
I can't do it, but I was hoping you could.
I think Lloyd is asking if Dupo is around Lovington, Illinois.
No, don't know where Lovington is.
Lovington? I don't know if that's a typo or not. It says there's lots of 9-ball players in that area.
Lovington, is that near Peoria? Or Bloomington area? I know the name, but I can't place where it's located.
Hey Daniel on YouTube, yeah, I know exactly what that's like.
So Saratoga does sound like a pretty intriguing game.
So Lovington, Illinois is 10 miles from
Decatur.
Oh. That looks like a French word. Yeah, now that you've said it, I'm not even going to try a different pronunciation.
From
Decatur.
the Great White North, you might pronounce that Decatur.
Exactly.
Decatur.
Decatur.
There's a Decatur, Georgia as well. I hope it smells better than Decatur, Illinois does. It's the soybean production capital of the entire planet, I think.
I was going to ask if there was a paper mill or something there, because I don't know if you've been around a paper mill, but they do not smell very nice.
Actually, Jay, I think Bloomington is northeast of Peoria, maybe due east.
Thanks, Daniel. I appreciate it. I'm going to definitely check it out.
Yes, I mentioned that I grew up in Cahokia, Illinois. Now most of my peers from that era now live in Columbia or Waterloo. But a couple still live in Cahokia and Dupo. We don't understand them. So it's starting to get pretty intense here. A lot of pressure on each of the players.
That was a really nice shot just to get enough of that 8 ball.
There, yes. Well done.
Really nice finish by Killer Q's to put one on the board. And do we know who got that on the far table?
I really don't.
I think that was another one for Killer Keys on the far table.
Looks like they're pretty happy.
There's a lot of smiles over there, so they're trying to pull back into this. Alright guys, so you're watching the ACS Texas State Championships. We are live at the Bell Expo Center in Belton, Texas. We're watching a mixed open team event right now. We started this last night at 8 o'clock. It will run through until Sunday evening, tomorrow evening.
And we have confirmation from the teams. The score on the screen is correct. 10 for B&N, 6 for Killer Q's.
So I'm guessing MO is for Missouri. Noticed I pronounced that correctly.
Look at you.
Yeah, I'm learning down here. I would have never known. I've always assumed it was Missouri.
Most people say it that way. What say you, John Tadero? Is it Missouri or Missouri? Since you live there.
So dupo racking is when someone loosely or dirty racks the balls when you're playing with them. See, I don't know if it's the same down here, but back in Canada, you rarely will rack for your opponent. I think for that specific reason, you always rack your own.
I thought Canadians were friendly. They didn't argue about things like that.
We don't argue because we do things like that.
You prevent the argument.
Yeah.
Yes,
We have a bit of foresight before that happens.
Much more common here in bar play when you have people challenging the table. The challenger will rack. The person who won the previous game breaks and defends his table. And in league play, a lot of those still do play challenger racks or opponent racks, but BCA, VNEA, I believe, ACS, they're all breaker racks. Break your own rack.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, a much better way to do it.
Well, I think the whole thing with having your opponent rack is to prevent things like rack manipulation and pattern racking. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, nobody's doing that anyways, so.
I don't think pattern racking is a big deal.
Honestly, no. There's such a degree of,
shot.
Unless you're lining all your solids on one side and your stripes on the other.
Even then, I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
You still have to hit the break shot. And if you don't make a ball, all you did was help your opponent. So I don't buy into the pattern racking thing. I've been wrong before.
John's trying to correct my other pronunciation of Missouri. So he's saying Missouri. Missouri. That doesn't sound right.
Missouri.
Are we saying Miss or Ms?
I'm going to guess Missouri.
Yeah, Missouri.
Missouri.
Now it just sounds weird. We've said it so many times, so we'll move on. So how would you pronounce Toronto?
Well, I understand from experience hearing other people pronounce it that it rhymes with Atlanta. Tirana.
Yeah, if you're from the Tirana area, that's how you're going to say it. Tirana.
It's either a weak pronunciation or poor spelling, one or the other, but we're going to do it your way. You're the Canadians, and you're the nice people. We're just the rude, uneducated Yankees.
John,
can't help it.
What do you mean? Everybody's so friendly down here.
Well, that's Texas.
And well-educated.
That is sometimes Texas.
Okay, so John's just explaining that's how he pronounces it. Missouri.
Okay, John, if your neighbors come after you with pitchforks and torches and stuff, it's all on Chris here. It's his idea to call it that.
Yeah, so Lawrence here was just saying the second T in Toronto is silent, so Tirana.
So you have family in a town that's named after your family, Carolina? Carolina? Is that what you're saying? And also San Antonio?
Well, that's an interesting little rule in Saratoga Pool. So, apparently if you hook yourself in Saratoga, so this odd rotation 8-ball kind of pool, if you hook yourself, you can't use a jump cue. But if your opponent hooks you, you can use it. That's kind of a neat little punishment there.
Mm-hmm. We've seen that rule in some tournaments. 10-ball, 9-ball tournaments. Well, looks like we have a game to try out later. We'll have a race to 1 if we have an hour and a half to play it in.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the best place to try that out. I think that's something I might try out in my basement at home when I got a little bit of free time.
Y'all might finish your race to 21 before we finish a race to 1 in Saratoga.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if I shoot anything like I did earlier today, then Ryan's going to be hurting after that race.
Uh-oh. I don't think he's even listening.
I think he's gone back for a nap, to be honest.
I would if I were him, or if I were he.
He was still wide awake while we were falling asleep last night, so.
Yeah, he pulled his phone out earlier and showed me that the last text he sent was at 3:30, and he's pretty sure he didn't fall asleep typing it. So.
And he was the first one up and about this morning. As far as I know, I was out of it.
I may have been awake at the same time he was, but I wasn't up at the same time he was. Your son's name is Lake Monday, or do you pronounce it Monday? Well, this is going to require more research.
Alright guys, share this stream. This is the ACS Texas State Championship 2019. We are live at the Bell Expo Center in Belton, Texas, just outside of Temple and about an hour north of Austin. Thank you to everybody that is tuned in and sharing that stream. This is not possible without you guys, the viewers. We really appreciate it. We love it when you guys are commenting on the stream. We enjoy talking back and forth with you. So,
I have located Monday, Texas, north of Abilene, southwest of Wichita Falls. Probably not far from Rising Star, Texas.
alright, we got B&N shooters at the table right now. They're getting pretty close to that 13 number. This is a race to 13. First team there will move on. Unfortunately, the team that loses is going to be eliminated from the main bracket, but they will have the option to buy into the second chance bracket starting at 8 o'clock tonight.
Which, if the team event goes like the singles, should be a high percentage of the teams that have been eliminated will be in that second chance. And B&N has tied himself up here, I believe. He can probably make the 5-ball thing cut. Can't be able to get the 3. If he's frozen on that 8, he'd probably have a hard time getting the 3. Sandra, these 2 games could determine the outcome of this match. Look at that. Nicely cut. And they're both cruising toward victory. Speed on the second or far table. Slowly but steadily eliminating the solids, working his way toward the 8-ball. Is that better?
That is much better. I can hear you
No,
loud
I
and
can hear me
clear. Alrighty, opts for the bank shot. Just missed it, but he left that really nicely.
Close quarters there.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he can cut that back, but that's what he's looking at right now. Otherwise, I think he's going to be forced into playing a safety here.
I think that when the safety is this much easier than potting the ball, it's a pretty simple decision.
Danielle on YouTube, I'm assuming you're talking about the pronunciation of New Orleans. So that's how I would say it, New Orleans. But I have heard multiple different pronunciations on that.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Nolans.
Nolans.
NOLA.
NOLA? What?
NOLA.
Really?
NO for New Orleans. LA
Yeah.
for Louisiana.
I've got to get down there at some point in my lifetime. Beautiful area.
Locals here often refer to Austin as the ATX.
The ATX.
The ATX, yeah.
I understand that.
Because they're cooler than we are. I don't like this direction. I'd be going the other direction with that. I don't think he can cut this. He just did. He overcut it. He got a really nice roll at the end there. I'm not sure that the BNN shooter can see that 3-ball enough to make it possibly rail first.
Still rolling. I got this stay right there.
So I almost threw my phone across the room there.
Don't do that.
Slipped out of my hand when I was putting it down. Yeah, Calgary is often, a lot of people call it YYC, which is our airport code.
I think he's got a pretty good line on this.
So I saw in the comments somebody would mention that the Calgary Flames are playing in an outdoor game tonight.
That's what I heard. I don't.
Unfortunately, I am not there to take part in that. All right, Killer Q is looking to stave off elimination.
And he takes that one home.
Watch out, Q ball. So BNN still needing 2.
I believe I heard Ryan earlier saying that November 8th is the beginning of the next stream that y'all will be doing from Calgary area. Or is that Nanaimo?
What did I do?
What did you do?
November 8th, 9th, and 10th is the border battle.
Oh,
The
that's
CPA,
Niagara.
APA border battle coming from Niagara Falls. Followed by the Vancouver Island Championships in Nanaimo. I don't have the dates handy, I don't think. Here it is. I will just flash this up. So this is our upcoming events for CSL, Q Sports Live. So APA, CPA Border Battle, November 8th, 9th, and 10th in Niagara Falls, Canada. Or is that America? We'll just go with Niagara Falls. We'll leave it at that.
In Canada.
We've got the CCS, which is the Canadian version of ACS in Vancouver Island. Nanaimo, BC, November 13th to 17th. And then we have the Barry Huey Memorial Tournament, November 29th to December 1st in Calgary, Alberta.
So there we have it. 3 of the next 5 weekends. Q Sports Live should be your viewing home, folks.
Sorry, guys. I'm just going to try to get that off the screen there for you. Nope, that was not the button. There we go.
As you can see, the generous advertisers, supporters, sponsors, their ads, their logos, some photos and business cards scrolling in the corners of the screen. So if you see a business there that you're familiar with, you're located near, you have reason to do business with them, the Mike Burton Home Team, JB Cases, excuse me. Let them know that you saw their advertisement here on Q Sports Live.
Yeah, Nick Varner, Q's and Cases.
Nick Varner, yep. Fort Worth Billiards Superstore in Fort Worth, Texas. Stop in. If you have any needs, buy a box of chalk, a new glove, table, whatever you need there. And even if you're just stopping in to say hi, mention to them you saw their ad here. Helps them to understand that their advertising dollars are well spent, and you might benefit. They might throw you some appreciation. I can't promise it on their behalf.
So, Patrick, did you see the outcome of that last game on the far table?
I did not.
Okay, we're going to need to update the score here.
I think that Killer Q's won it. I'm not sure.
Daniel says another one is Prescott, Arizona. Most people say Prescott, but it's pronounced Prescott by all the natives. He also says another one is Norfolk, Virginia. It's not pronounced like it typically should. So how would I pronounce Norfolk?
I've heard it called Norfolk.
Norfolk?
Norfolk.
Yeah.
And Norfolk. I'm pretty sure that one's just spelled wrong. Yep. Michael Vasquez is telling us that Killer Q's did win on that other table.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. I was actually just about to pull up YouTube so I could fast forward or rewind.
And that player has a poker club over in Harker Heights, not far from here.
So Kai has a poker club.
So it is pronounced Kai. We determined that earlier.
I love poker, actually. I used to play it all the time. I'd love to get back into it.
I like playing it. Play it online more than anything now.
Now, what kind of poker?
I like Omaha.
Omaha?
Most people play Texas Hold'em.
I think Hold'em's the big one right now, and just with the visibility out there. It is a fun game.
I like 7-card stud.
Omaha, that's basically you get dealt out 4 hands, or 4 cards, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to play 2 of your cards.
Right.
So with Omaha, you have quite a bit of, quite frequently what will happen is as the cards on the table are dealt, the flop comes out, what you thought were the 2 best cards in your hand might now be the 2 worst cards, or vice versa.
Yeah.
You could go from thinking you were going to have a flush draw to now you have full house draw. And since you have to use 2, and you can't use 3, you have to use exactly 2. If you have the ace, king, queen in your hand, you're not building a straight there.
Well, and it takes away from the odds too, because now you've got those cards in your hand rather than in the deck.
So that should be information that would be helpful to you, but a lot of times people seem to ignore the fact that they're holding some of their own out cards, that they're not usable.
Yeah. Sandra, I assume that your number 1 favorite indoor game is going to be pool if poker's number 2.
I don't know if you're on the right track there. Sandra may be giving some kind of a subtle hint. She'd be wrong, of course, if pool's not number 1.
Yeah.
But she's allowed to be wrong.
I know. You never know. It could be Monopoly or
yes,
something like that.
That's where I was going for Yahtzee.
I Actually, Yahtzee is a lot of fun. I haven't played that in many years now.
We used to play a version of that called Ship Captain Crew, which I can't remember how to play. I do know it resulted in many hangovers. Brian, I believe, is going to try to get safe here behind the 8 ball, and he does. It's probably hittable. Not a lot you could do with it.
Yeah, Killer Q's is kind of mounting a fairly decent comeback here. They've pulled this a lot closer.
And he's at the table on the far table with ball in hand.
So back to pronunciations. Daniel says Mobile, Alabama. Mobile, Alabama.
Mobile.
Mobile. I wouldn't say mobile. That seems weird.
Mobile, Alabama. And people from Alabama tend to say Alabama different than people from Mississippi would say it.
Yeah?
Yes. Or people from Tennessee.
It's amazing, you're in one country, you all speak the same language.
Sort of.
And you've got a different accent almost in every state.
Practically every town.
And it's like that in Canada and some places too.
Yeah. Also, you'll find that in a border area, like where Texas, Louisiana border one another, people on both sides of the border that live close to one another sound a lot more alike than either of them do their own state.
Yeah, well,
their own neighbors.
I think it's human nature. You kind of adapt unconsciously to a similar accent.
It's what you hear all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
You say that you're implanted into Texas, but you definitely have a little bit of a Texas twang yourself, Patrick.
Well, my friends in the Midwest say I sound like I'm from Texas, and my friends here say I still sound like I'm from Chicago.
Yeah.
And I've never even lived in Chicago. Chicago. Da Bears.
Another one up for Killer Q's.
Look at this.
Comeback continues.
Stay tuned, folks.
They've got the momentum right now.
The pressure's starting to shift.
B&N really wants to close this out, but Killer Q's is refusing to lay down.
B&N could smell it just a couple games ago. Now it's starting to look more elusive. The finish line. It's in fact no farther away than it was, but it seems farther away.
So Daniel says he doesn't mind poker, but it's based on theoretical probability. And the best skilled game mentally is chess. Yeah, I agree. Pool is similar to chess. There is a lot of factors involved. And especially when you get to the higher levels of play, you're not going to have many opportunities on the table. So you really need to think out your patterns and ensure that you are playing the right shot to move on. And especially when you get into safety play, often it will feel like a chess match because you're only thinking strategy in order to prevent your opponent from taking advantage and getting the upper hand. I like poker. It sounds weird, but I kind of like math. Probabilities is my best subject back in school.
Yes, Sander, that was a nice shot.
Backgammon's a lot of fun. I played it a lot when I was a kid.
Backgammon's a good gambling game.
I can't say I ever gambled on it. Again, I played it when I was a child, but...
Not that we encourage gambling or any other kind of immoral activity. And not that there's anything wrong with that.
I think gambling is more widely accepted in the States than it is in Canada.
Apparently so, yes.
Although it's interesting, my last trip to the States, we went down into Montana, and I kept seeing signs for casinos everywhere. But you'd go in and it was just a room filled with VLTs or slot machines. And so that kind of threw me for a loop because I wouldn't consider that a casino. A casino is a large building with a lot of machines and a lot of table games, but...
Card games. private poker rooms. Well, they're building up to it, I think. They're going to build their gigantic, extremely expensive hotels and casinos with the losers' money when they get enough of it. They're low key for now.
Yeah. Do we know who won that last game?
Do not.
Because if it was indeed B&N Shooters, that would mean they are on the hill. If it was Killer Q's, we are nearly tied. So we'll see if we can do some hand signals here and get the attention of the captain of B&N. Let us know.
He's relaxing and smiling a lot. I have a feeling they won't.
Yeah, so B&N did get that last game. They are on the hill, so they need one game to move on in the tournament.
So we have the correct score now.
Killer Q's is not going to give up, though.
No, they aren't.
And this game is not over. It is a very close race.
The two shooters at the table right now both represent Killer Q's. And they both look pretty determined.
Charlie Brown, Knights of the pool table, you're going to go to 36 and 37. Charlie Brown,
Yep.
Knights of the pool table, 36
There's a
and
combination
37.
now.
Kind of like that name for a pool team, Knights of the Pool Table.
And they're playing Charlie Brown.
And they're playing Charlie Brown's team.
So is somebody going to run up to the table and grab the cue ball just when he tries to break?
I mean, that would be something to see. I don't think it's going to end very well if that were to occur.
No. Hopefully it's just one of his pranking teammates.
Yeah, and not his opponent.
No opponent would do that.
You'd hope.
Don't try to give Poole a bad name like that, Chris. Come on. And there apparently are people in Dupo who play pool. Back to the earlier conversation.
So you were saying when you were a kid, your mother absolutely did not want you at the pool table.
Yeah, no, she did not.
So I hear back in the day that pool really had like a negative connotation around it. But I never really had that growing up. You know, I grew up in the 90s. Pool it seemed to be in its heyday back then. It was often on TV.
Yep.
There was a lot of pro action going. So it's interesting to hear your perspective on it. You know, I think from what I know, it was really associated with, you know, drinking and gambling and crime and
Yes. Some level of corruption in the gambling. A lot of fixing of games was rumored to happen back in those days.
yeah.
The whole idea of being a pool shark, being somebody who could deceive the other player into thinking you weren't very good, so they would play you for more money. All those things led to that negative connotation. And Killer Q's takes it down on far table with a really nice finish. This is getting close, folks.
Getting pretty intense here. Again, I think B&N wanted to close this out a little bit earlier, but
He's got a good chance to do so right now here on the near table.
Killer Q's has other plans.
Might have overstroked that a little bit. Looks like he'll probably change tactics here. No, he's still going to go after that 14 ball.
Yeah, I think he's going to use the 6 to just lay up for the 13. Oh,
That he cut it a little too thin and it escaped off the 6.
well,
He
he's
owns
put
that
it.
pocket
Yeah,
now.
put it in a good spot.
But the 3 could be used to knock that ball in and take the pocket right back, send the cue ball up table and make him bank something. Could even follow it in. 3 could follow it in and shot at the 6, draw back for the 8. If you hit that 3 with either low inside or low outside, just stroke through it. Bring the cue ball up to the other end of the table.
Yeah, if that 14 is sitting deep enough in there, there's a chance he could make that 3 ball.
Sure. I think it's perfectly set up for that.
Yeah.
Just play the 3 as if the 14 isn't there with a little bit of low. And the 3 ball will roll forward into the pocket.
Yeah, by putting draw on the cue ball, it's actually going to reverse the spin on the object ball, cause it to spin forward through the 14. So that's a good pointer for all of you folks out there listening. When you put spin on your cue ball, when it contacts the object ball, it will actually cause the object ball to spin in the opposite direction.
I think he just didn't fully trust his stroke on that.
Yeah. You got to commit. You really got to commit to that one. Oh, wow. I think the nerves are flowing through everybody here. Nobody wants to go home, right?
Pressure has shifted to B&M. They really feel like they need to close this out and not give them one more game.
Yeah.
That momentum's going to help Killer Q's.
It's tough because Killer Q's, both their players are at the table shooting right now.
Tony, we saw your comment earlier about the game on the far table. We believe our score is exactly right, up to date now. So
yeah, I think we addressed that actually after Tony commented.
I must have been sleeping.
But I wouldn't be surprised because I'm the only one that actually got a little bit of sleep last night, and I appreciate it.
Well,
but I'll throw you guys on my back and carry you the rest of the way if I have to.
I tried to get Ryan to wake you up several times early. He wouldn't do it. You deserved it. You've earned it after 3 hard days in a row here.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's amazing. It's first go around on the stream doing the commentary, so I wasn't really sure what I was walking into.
Are you sure now, or is it still a little unclear?
We'll see what happens by the end of the day tomorrow. So it is a bit unclear still. My body has told me that you shouldn't sit in the chair for that long, so I've been taking breaks and standing up while doing some commentary to help my back. And then last night, my voice was not very happy, so I tried to do as little talking this morning as possible. Hence why I just stayed in bed and slept.
Nobody there to argue with, that's for sure.
Nope.
Look out. Look out.
I'm having a blast. I get to watch a lot of good pool.
And play a little.
Play a little bit. First trip to Texas.
That in itself is worth it.
So I'm pretty happy about that. The first thing I had here was a chicken fried steak.
Good plan.
And had never had one before in my entire life. So it came with some loaded mashed potatoes and some mac and cheese. And the thing was twice the size of my head.
Yep.
And Killer Q's puts another one up on the board.
This is getting tight, folks.
So I will be making chicken fried steak when I get home.
Chicken fried chicken is very good too.
Yeah, well, I eyed that up first too because I wasn't too sure, but I know the beef here in Texas is delicious, so I had to have the chicken fried steak.
Be nice if we could zoom in on that far table. It looks like he has only one solid left.
Yeah.
Killer Q's at the table. This could be a tie match.
Let me see if I can figure out this remote. I don't want to mess it up too much.
Does he have it? He's got a shot at the 8 in the side.
Whoa.
Okay, now just zoom on in there. He got it.
Killer Q's forces this hill, guys.
Oh.
Here, I'll deal with that, Patrick.
Okay.
Just gonna restore the camera. I'll be right back, guys.
All right. So if y'all will hold on just a moment, I'm going to double check all of our scoring, make sure everything's right here. We believe we're at Hill, and that would be ideal. It's the deciding game here. Breaking for being in is Brian. I agree, Sandra. This has been a good match all along, but it's a really good match now. In the streaming business, we like to see every match go hill-hill. Makes for really long days, but much better viewing. Michael, I will ask Chris when he gets back where he got the chicken fried steak from, but I hope it was from one of the local mom and pop restaurants rather than a chain. He's taking care of some other Q Sports Live business here. We're raffling a really nice Q package off. And give me a moment, folks.
Can I get the captain of Texas Crushers to turn that please?
So Brian made a break that didn't open up the table terribly well, but he made a nice shot to follow up on the one ball. I should say he made a ball on the break, but the table didn't open up. Jody's in Temple, Texas. That's not very far from here, so we will be trying that, Michael.
Snipers in one shot. You're going to be on deck for 43-44 as soon as that match is over. Snipers in one shot. You're going to be on 43-44 as soon as that match is over.
And Chris is back.
Hey guys. So I got that chicken fried steak at Fry's here in Belton. We have limited time, so we just gotta go to the places that are close by.
So perhaps tomorrow you could try that one. It's only about 15-20 minutes from here.
So yeah, Michael's suggesting Jody's in Temple. Yeah, good to know. I mean, I'm definitely looking up a recipe. I gotta make that at home because it was delicious, and I know my lovely lady back at home will enjoy it as much as I did.
Especially the fact that you'll be doing the preparing.
Well, that's nothing new in our house.
Just showing her the love nonstop, aren't you?
Yeah.
I believe it was 10-6, Clinton, when the comeback started.
Actually, it was 10-4.
It was 10-4.
It was 10-4.
Look at that.
Yeah. So Killer Q's mounted a massive comeback
They've won 8
here.
of the last 10 games.
Yeah.
That is a huge momentum shifter. It's a pressure-packed game. They're going to take their time on these shots and make sure they're not making a nice breakup. Make sure they don't make a mistake that could cost them this game. That cost them the entire match if they do. Going to need to get back to that 7 ball. Probably won't have shape on it after shooting a 4.
Yeah, I love seeing comebacks like that.
But I believe he could come out and get the 6-7 combo.
Meter rep to table 24, please.
Ooh, creative.
Rep to table 24.
That 4 had come away from the rail a little farther to make this easier, but it's not so bad.
Hey Daniel, just saw your comment. He likes his chicken fried and cold beer on a Friday night, and there's nothing better than that. I'm a big fan of pizza too, so.
And the radio on. Daniel quoting his song lyrics. I'm throwing up irrelevant movie quotes. No end to the quality entertainment here.
And 25.
Nice cut. Oh, slow down, cue ball.
In the house, please.
Thanks, Michael. Appreciate the recommendation. I am going to be coming back to Texas. This has been a fantastic experience.
There's really no reason to leave. She
well,
won't miss you.
She might be watching. Be careful.
Hey, if you make her that chicken fried steak, she will not let you leave the house again.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, it's It's too bad I can't play in the ACS league and play in this event here.
Well, CCS, ACS, don't they have some
Yeah.
kind of a cross-border
We
competition?
are sanctioned with ACS, playing in the CCS. Unfortunately, with this ACS Texas State Championship, you have to play in state in order to be sanctioned to play.
Right.
So
For this event.
I can play in the ACS Nationals in Vegas with my CCS sanction, which I have yet to do. I have yet to go to Vegas to play pool.
Really?
I was chatting with my fiance before he left, and I always thought that my first trip to the States for pool was going to be in Vegas. I was wrong. Here I am in Texas. And I am not disappointed with that.
Gonna play the combo this time, which I think is a good idea to get rid of.
This
Break
is
it
it.
up now.
Big shot.
You want to never leave that combo as your last shot, because if you don't get shape on the second ball, you're in trouble. And he's not bad here, but it's a challenge. I don't think it'll pass the 8 to the bottom left, will it? Well, he believes
It will, yes, it will, sir.
Oh, I was looking at it on the stream. I think it will, yeah. Looking at it from our angle on the table, it does not look like it.
Wow.
He pulled a shot off there, folks.
Great shot.
He really came with it. He's got to be careful here if he stuns that straight across the table.
This is what a way to finish this match, guys.
Look at that.
No.
And a concession.
There we go. So
That right there is the sportsmanship we've seen on display. He's disappointed and upset that he missed his shot, but he's not going to force the other guy to shoot that easy shot.
I have a feeling Killer Q's will be
They'll be
joining
back.
into that second chance a little bit later. What a great match.
Yep.
What an awesome comeback. They were down 10-4 in that match. They came back, tied at Hill. Unfortunately, it just did not pan out for them, and B&N Shooters moves on in the bracket.
Yes. Well played by both teams. B&N kept their heads.
All right, folks. Well, thanks for tuning in once again. This is the ACS Texas State Championships 2019. We're at the Bell Expo Center in Belton, Texas. We've got Patrick Neal joining us. Thank you for coming on.
It's
We
my
do
pleasure.
appreciate it, especially your geography lessons here. We will be live shortly. There's going to be matches all day today, so stay tuned. We will be going live soon. We're going to shut down and restart.
If you are not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that. Then you'll get a notification when we come back on live. Facebook, like our Facebook page, and you'll also be notified. And while you're at the page, just leave a comment. We appreciate any feedback you can give us.
Thank you very much, everybody. We'll talk to you shortly.